In the next scene we see a past scene where Subin and Yuji, who together with school kids, are making a zombie film. This time Yuji also says to Subin, you should also shoot the scene because your shooting has a different vibe. After that Subin does exactly that. However, while doing this, he keeps looking at Yuji and says to himself, I want to know everything about you. What kind of world is yours? What do you see in it? What do you like? But just then the security guard comes and spots them. In the next scene we see where the teacher punishes all the kids and says, why were you making a film there? You should focus on your studies. But Yuji starts saying, I am perfect at this work. I want to become a film director. But the teacher hits her. She does not listen to her. All these scenes are from 2011. In the next scene we see where both of them have come to the market. Here also they shoot many things. Subin gets some food packed for his mother. Yuji says, you are a good son. Subin says, what about you? Yuji had said, I do not have good relations with my mother. In the next scene we see where she brings him to her mother's restaurant and secretly takes him inside her room, which is underground. Both together watch the zombie movie which they had made earlier. Yuji says to him, you have shot everything well. This is very good. Now Subin starts saying, I do not want to become a doctor. I will become a film director like you. I have decided this. Yuji says that all this is not going to be easy, can take time. But Subin had said, I have no problem. Earlier I did not like films, but because of you I started liking them. Your world is very warm and funny, but Yuji says that it is a zombie world then. Subin says whatever the world may be, these things are in it. At night, we see where Yuji is in her room and starts watching many videos of Subin. In the next scene we see where Subin was running to catch a bus and he gets it too. We come to know that Yuji is at a Nam Youth Film Festival, where she gets the grand prize. She is on the stage. She says that once my mother had said that I can become anything, but honestly I do not want to become anything. I only want to become a film director because that is what I was born for. They ask her, is there any family member here who can congratulate you? She says nothing, but just then we see that Subin comes there with flowers and congratulates her. In the next scene we see both are at the beach where Yuji says, I have a secret. I want to become a film director for a reason. After that she shows the prize. Yuji says that, when I was in 6th grade I got my first prize and I had decided that I will become a film director. Subin says, okay, but how is this a secret? Yuji says, look how big my dream is, but the work done so far is very little. Subin says that whatever things happen, they start from small work. Now just see, my feelings for you have become a dream. She gets shy and says to him, let us make a film together. He agrees and lifts her up. Now both enjoy in the water. At night, we see where Subin comes near his house. He sees that, in front, his father is beating his driver. For some reason he goes inside the house. His father has his bag. He was going to pick up the bag, but his father says to him, there is one rule here. There should be no room for any mistake in the house. I will not tolerate this. On the other hand, Yuji also comes to her house but sees that, in front, her video cassettes are lying outside. Her mother has thrown them out and people are looking at them. She shouts and says, these are mine. She says to her mother, why are you doing this? Her mother had said that all this is trash. Throw it out. But Yuji says, do not do this. She shows that today I have won a 1,000,000 won prize. I have never asked you for anything. Did not ask for money. Did not say send me abroad for studies. At least let me do what I want. Her mother had said, okay. You cannot keep these cassettes here. Take them inside your room. At night Subin was walking, but he sees that Yuji is in front of him who was crying. He comes to her. He asks what happened, but she does not tell. Now both came near the beach where Yuji says, have you heard the story of the fox and the grapes? The fox had seen the grapes. She tried to get them, but later said they are sour, and she left. Subin says it could also be true that they were sour. Yuji says whatever it may be, but she should have tried. Now just look at me, whatever I want I get it, even if I have to die for it. Subin says forget about dying. If you need anything just call me. I will come running for you. I will be your soldier. In the next scene we see where she brings him to her house. Both were watching videos together, but now Yuji says there is something missing in this, which is romance. She starts saying to Subin that we will have to add romance in this, but before doing that let us try you kiss me. She moves forward to kiss, but Subin says I cannot do this because I am your senior. Yuji says so what, I am also your senior. Subin starts saying that later I will not be able to control myself. Yuji says what do you mean by control? However later he says that when both of us take admission in film school, then I will kiss you. However, Yuji had said that I have no problem because this is going to be our first kiss. In the next scene many more scenes of them are shown where both were working on a film, and they complete the script. We come to the present, where Yuji is on her show and had become a farmer. But just then it comes to know that Subin has arrived here. Subin has flowers in his hand, which he gives to her. Yuji says, "What are you doing here?" She says to producer Kong, "Why did you bring him here?" Producer Kong had said that he is a guest. He wants to give her flowers. Yuji says to him, "Did you come here to become a farmer?" Subin says, "That depends on you." Yuji leaves. In the next scene, she talks with her colleague. The colleague mentions Subin's first love and says, "Who should it be? Do you know anything about this?" But she denies it. However, after some time, she says that all this is online too. You can see it. The colleague says, "You had said you do not know." She goes quiet. The girls start taking photos with Subin. Yuji is nearby who sees all this but with different eyes. In the next scene, she is with Subin and asks him many questions which will be asked from him during the show, like, "Why did you hide your name, Subin?" And the most main question, "Why did you come here?" Subin comes close to Yuji and says, "To see you." Yuji says, "Where did this start?" Subin says, "You were talking to Giant on the phone and I heard those words. By the way, you look nervous," but she denies it. But Subin says, You keep biting your lips with your teeth every time. If this keeps going on, they will start bleeding." Later he starts to leave. Yuji calmly says to him, "If you do anything wrong, just see. I will kill you." But it makes no difference to him. In the next scene, we see that the show starts where Yuji first talks with her fans. After that, she introduces Subin. He has many questions where Subin answers all of them. She talks about his film for which he was recently given an award. After that she asks him, "Why did you come to Korea?" Subin had said that, "I want to make a romance movie whose title is Jaeong Sagong Love Song." After hearing this, Yuji is shocked. In the next scene we see Jaeon, who was practicing his acting. He comes to every agency. He delivers his profile. He comes to one more agency. Kong is in front. He looks at him and recognizes him. Later he tells who he is, "And this is my profile." Kong says, "I know you. We had once worked together. At that time your CEO had cheated all of us and the company shut down." Giant starts insulting him and says, "Forget whatever work you do. Nothing will happen from these people. I can tell just by looking at a person how far he will go. But you do not have that thing." Kong had left after that. Meanwhile, we see that above is Hannah, who was watching all this. Hannah then comes inside to eat food. We see her mother, whose name is Sway. Kong also joins them. Hannah wants to eat food, but Sway stops her and says, "Leave it, you will get fat. Last time that dress did not fit you. This time that dress will be worn again. And I do not want that scene to be created again." Hannah says, "Then why not do one thing? Get that dress changed." But her mother denies. Hannah says to Kong, "I want to go to the salon. Come with me quickly." In the next scene we see where Hannah comes for a film promotion. Along with her is also actor Song Yen. Both were talking with the media. Song Yen says, "I think till now Hannah must not have dated anyone because anyway she debuted 20 years ago and no dating rumors had spread about her." But Hannah says, "I have dated many people. By the way, do you like me?" Song Yen says nothing. However, when he comes to the parking lot, he shouts at his manager and says, "What does she think of herself? How can she say such a thing to me? Without her mother, she is nothing. She is a small child." But just then we see that Hannah is nearby, who starts talking to her mother. She shouts, saying that Song is calling me your child. Song gets scared. He comes near Hannah, but Hannah shows that this was no call. "I was just joking." Song runs to hit her, but cannot do anything. In the next scene we see where they were going to shoot more with Subin. Subin and Yuji are in the car, where Subin tells Yuji the story of the fox and the grapes, which Yuji had once told him. Subin says that she had said the grapes are sour, and she left. Yuji says they could also be sour, but Subin says whatever it may be, but she should have tried. Yuji starts talking about something childish, that would she have used the ladder, and even if she did, the ladder was knocked down there. Her time was wasted and she left. She had no option. But Subin says she could have asked her friend for help. Yuji later remembers that once Subin had said, "I will help you. I will come running for you." Yuji then says that her friend had cheated her, and she could not eat the grapes. Subin starts saying, "I did not steal anything." She quiets him and says, "The mic is on. Keep quiet." Kong sees how both are behaving and says to Yuji, "Why are you holding his collar?" Yuji says it seems like his button broke. Kong says, "Okay, so it later." In the next scene we see where she sews a button on his shirt, and she is watching him. Yuji says to him, "I will sell you that script for this much money. After that, you leave. Anyway, you only care about its ending." But Subin denies and says, "I only want to work with you. If you do not want to do this, then that script is just a blank page for me." Yuji says, "Okay." Subin then says to her that, "If you think I have stolen your dream from you, Then we can do one thing. I can return that dream to you. Your boyfriend that you had, I will return him too. He comes close to her and says, how do I return myself? He was going to kiss her and says to her, we are not in high school now. But Yuji does not want this. She takes the flower. She hits him with it and says, you bastard. After that she leaves. Now we see that past scene where Yuji keeps coming near Subin's house. She calls out to him, but Subin does not come out. This does not happen once. It happens many times. It had been 10 to 15 days here too. Yuji had given up and was leaving, but Subin comes to her in the rain. He stops her. He gives her an umbrella and says that, now I cannot come to school. Yuji hugs him and asks why, is there an exam tomorrow? But Subin says, I will not become a film director. I have to become a doctor, and I am going to America. But Yuji says, you are lying. She shows the script and says, both of us had written this together. But till now its ending is still left. Both of us will work on this. But he denies. Yuji gives him the script and says, okay, you have to choose. What will you do? I will wait for you. After that she runs away like this. In the next scene we see she is in a bus. She is about to leave. She was waiting for Subin, but he does not come. After that she gets off the bus. She thinks Subin must have gotten ready to go to America. She runs from here to meet him. But her hairband falls down. She comes back to pick it up, but just then an accident had happened. In the next scene we see where her surgery is being done. Outside are her family members. The family was feeling that she cannot survive. Her death has happened. After that they even come to her. But Yuji is fine. She looks at her family and says, why have you worn such clothes? I am still alive. After that she comes for rehab. She practices a lot and becomes capable of walking again. We come to the present scene where we see Yuji's family, who were watching her show. But we see that Subin is also with them. They say to themselves, what is Subin doing here? On the other hand, we see Hannah and her mother. They were also watching the show where Sway says, what is Subin doing in this show? Meanwhile, we see Yuji, who is in the restaurant with Jaehyun. She tells him what Subin had said to her. Jaehyun says, okay, you should do it. He is returning your dream. But Yuji had said, I do not want it. But Jaehyun says, you are not miserable. You are amazing. You should value yourself. You had said you want to become a film director. But she had said, that is not my dream. We moved to the TV station where everyone was watching Subin and Yuji's show, which had gone viral. There we see Yuji. Her friend comes to her and says, I think you know Subin. He should be your first love. But Yuji denies it. However, when she laughs, Yuji had said, keep quiet. No one should find out about this. The friend says together that this has become a first love reunion. Did he say that I missed you? I like you. Kong calls Yuji. In the next scene, we see where she comes to meet him. Kong says to her, do you know Subin? But she denies it. Kong says, I had seen how you both were talking in the edit room for 2 hours. After that she says to him, yes, I know him from school time. Kong says, okay, then that is good. Bring him to the shop before any other agency takes him. But Yuji says, I cannot do this. But when Kong says that, if you do this, you will have your own slot, you have to bring him. If you fail in doing this, then do not come back. He is in Nam Village right now. In the next scene, we see where Yuji comes to Nam Village. She is near Subin's house. She wants to knock the door. First she does not do it. She starts coming back. She gathers courage. She comes again. She knocks the door. She comes inside. But in front is Subin, who accidentally throws water on her.